here we go. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about orientation. It's the next video in the series I was making for new drivers. I apologize it's taken so long to get to it. I actually did it once before, and I was having technical difficulties. So here we go. Orientation is going to be, you're probably going to go with a large company when you first start out as a new driver, but I will tell you about my experience with the smaller companies also. Now, when I went to work at some of the smaller companies, I actually had a couple times where I was the only person in orientation. It was awesome. They actually sent me for the drug screen before I ever got there. Got that out of the way. So I showed up ready for orientation, and it took like a few hours. It was a one-day orientation, and then I did the road test and I was ready to go. But you're probably not going to be going with a smaller company, and if you do, you may have several people in orientation. It may not be that simple for you, but the larger companies are going to be pretty much the same way as far as wanting to get the drug screen over with. So your very first day, you're going to go take your drug screen, so they're going to try to weed out people right off the bat if they can. So if you show up the next day or next couple days later and people are disappearing, that's probably why. So the next few days may be different order, the way they do things depending on the company that you go to. But you're going to be doing a lot of paperwork. Bring a copy of your 10-year work history. Especially if you're like me, I can't remember what I did 9 years ago, so I have to write everything down. Bring that with you. They're going to probably get you to fill out an application again. They probably only got your 3-year before. They're going to want your 10-year work history. So bring that with you. And yes, I have notes. I am forgetful, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. You may actually have an interview with somebody, depending on the company. I've worked for a couple of companies where I actually did an interview with somebody. You may not, depending on the company you go for. Going to meet with a bunch of different people throughout the company over the next few days. You're going to meet with payroll. They're going to tell you how everything works, explain the ComData card and all the procedures and how you're going to get paid and how often you're going to get paid, etc., etc. They're probably going to try to sign you up for direct deposit. If you plan on signing up for direct deposit, bring a blank check with you, because they're probably going to want that. So you need to have that with you if you plan on signing up for direct deposit. I've actually had a company that would not sign me up because I didn't have a blank check with me. Go figure. So you're going to meet with someone in safety. They're going to go over, you're probably going to have to watch a bunch of videos, and they're going to go over safety procedures. They're probably going to talk about claims and loss prevention. You're probably going to meet with, hopefully, a mechanic. You know, I've worked for several companies, and they took it out into the shop. We met with a mechanic. He told us about the truck and get you familiar with the truck. They're going to explain road breakdown procedures, what to do if you have breakdown, and they're going to give you a phone number, tell you who to contact, etc., etc. You're going to get a list of phone numbers during orientation. Hang on to that. Put it in your folder. You want to have that handy with you. And you're going to meet maybe your recruiter, maybe not. Hopefully you can put a face to the voice you've been talking to, and you will know who to be mad at if they lied to you. So that's pretty awesome to meet your recruiter. You're probably going to meet your fleet manager or dispatcher, whatever they call them. Different companies call them different things. That may be towards the end of orientation. They're going to want to wait till they know exactly who's staying, who made it all the way through orientation. And then they'll probably introduce you to your fleet manager and assign you an employee number towards the end of orientation, and maybe even give you, I've worked for companies that had an identification card. One company even had our picture on it, so be prepared. You might want to ask questions so you'll know if you need to do your hair that day. Might or might not meet with some people in management and upper management in the company. I've actually met like the CEO of a company before, and just different companies are different depending on which company you go for. They may have a different roster, so to speak, of people that you are going to get to meet with. They're going to probably try to sign you up for insurance. They may have some people come in that is just their specialty, is just insurance. So they're going to go over all the details, answer any questions, try to sign you up for insurance. And like I mentioned earlier, watch lots of videos, try not to fall asleep. I'm going to be doing a lot of that. After the first day, they're going to start taking probably small groups out to do road tests. If you are a brand new driver and you just got your CDL, do not freak out. They know that you just got your CDL and you're not an experienced driver. So just remember everything you learned in school. Try to stay calm and relax. Just remember, come to a complete stop at a stop sign. Pay attention to your surroundings. Don't speed. Pay attention to all the signs. You know, everything you learned in school is when you had to get your CDL license, you had to take a road test. So it's going to be about the same. If you mess up and miss a gear or whatever, they'll help you. You know, it's not a big deal. Just don't get too nervous about it. You're not going to have to take the backing test as a new driver, so don't freak out about that. When you get done with your training part on the trainer's truck, they're going to dispatch you back to one of their terminals, and that will be part of your upgrade. And once you get to that point, then you will have to take a backing test. But that's part of what you're going to learn on the trainer's truck. They're going to do a lot of practice backing, so don't even worry about that. Don't let that bother you at all. And like I said in the previous video, bring money for supper or in case you might happen to need anything. Bring a little bit of money with you. At the end of orientation, when they give you your driver ID and your ComData card, they're probably either going to give you an advance or pay you something for orientation. But you do need to bring a little bit of money with you and ask lots of questions. And like I said in the previous video, bring a good attitude and open mind, be willing to learn. And congratulations, because you're getting into one of the, in my opinion, is one of the best industries to be getting into. And I hope you have fun with it. And you guys be safe out there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.